Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is William Hollis, and I'm an associate librarian here at Mandel Public Library. And I would like to welcome you to our Quick Tips series, in which we go over basic technology tips to assist you in both your professional and personal life so that we can utilize all of the tools available and continue to provide virtual services. So, in this quick tip series, I will be going over how to create a Gmail account. We are here at google.com, and I'm going to show you how you would create a Gmail account. And this is especially beneficial for your job search because most online applications ask you to create a profile, and the first part of that profile is your email address. So we also want to make sure that you can correspond with employers when you are sending out these applications. It's just a necessity in these days and times. But moving along, our first step, we're going to go to google.com. You will see in the top right hand corner, we click on Gmail. This is where we are going to create an email address. So we click on Gmail, and we are going to create an account. If you do not have one yet, we are going to create an account. So we click on that. It's right next to next, to the left of the next button. We need to create an account. We're going to say for myself, unless it's for a business, but we're going to assume this is for yourself as a personal slash professional account. So we're going to start with our first and last name. I'm just going to choose a generic name. You would obviously choose your own. So I'm going to choose John Smith. So first name, last name. Now we need to choose a username. Now, if it's a common name like John Smith, we're going to need to be creative with this. So to avoid the trouble of saying the username is already taken, and unless you want to take a suggestion for a username, we are going to go ahead and put in Mr. John Q. Smith 1960. Let's say he was born in 1960. Now, you don't have to utilize that. You don't have to use the same formula. I'm just choosing that as an example because we want to have a username that we can remember and also one that's not already taken, obviously, because Google will not allow you to use someone else's username. So we're going to choose Mr. John Q. Smith 60. And let's say that John Smith has an aunt that he really adores, and we will use that. So basically, we want to choose a password that's not easy to guess, but something that's near and dear to us that we will remember. Also, to make sure that we type in the correct username, you can click on this icon with the I slashed out. When we click on that, we can see what we typed. So we're going to confirm that password, Aunt Sally, and then we are going to click next. So we click next and we see that that username is already taken. So let's say choose something else. Let's say we said Mr. John Q. Smith 60 instead of 1960. Also, as you can see, there are also suggestions that you can take. You have the option of choosing a auto-generated suggestion, but we would prefer to have an address that's more personal to us. So we chose Mr. John Q. Smith 60. You'll see that a phone number is optional. You can use that if you have your cell phone handy, you can put in your phone number. But for those who may not have a phone number, you see it says optional, so we can still create an account. Also, if you already have an email address, you can use that as a recovery email. That's just, for example, if you needed to recover your account, which hopefully we won't have to do that because we'll always remember our username and password. That's imperative. So now we're going to put in our birthday. Let's say that John Q. Smith was born on January 1st, 1960. Now we go down to gender. We can either say rather not say if we like. We can choose whatever we like. So we'll say mail in this instance, and then we will click next. Now we have our privacy terms. You can read through that if you like, depending on your preference, but you're going to need to accept those terms. So now we get to the button, I agree. We click I agree, and then we just wait to access our new account. So when you see this icon moving, that means that the system is working. So we definitely don't want to click buttons because that makes it take longer, actually. So we are taking our time and we see that it's loading. And here we are, voila, with our new account. So let's look at what we are now able to access. We can actually do Google Meetings, through Gmail. That's a feature that we'll get into more in depth for another video. Quick tips. Don't want to do too much all at once. So we'll say, got it. And now this is our hub right here. As far as your account settings, you see the J for John Q. Smith. You can click on that, and that's where you can manage your account. If we click on, also, let me go in order. You can also add a photograph. You can add a profile picture if you like. You don't have to. We can click manage your Google account. And here you will see all of your information. Here's your home page. There's lots that you can do. You can manage your privacy. I just want you to see it. As I said, we'll explore more in depth in future quick tips video. This one just covers the creation of a Gmail account. So you can secure your account, you can manage your data. You see you have 15 gigabytes of storage, so plenty of room for emails and what have you. And you can also go through step by step if you're really serious about privacy for your account, which is important. You have your personal information. As you can see, your profile. So you have all of your information, and then security and what have you. Next, we go to our home tab. I really just want you to see all that you can access with this. So these buttons right here, these series of dots, this is basically a hub for all of the Google apps, as you can see. So when you click on that, Gmail is only one aspect of Google, but we have a plethora or a great deal of other apps that you can utilize. But again, we'll get into that in another quick tips video. But for the purpose of this video, sticking with Gmail, we click on that logo, the Gmail account. This is where you would send and receive emails, for example. So if you wanted to send one, you would say compose. So you have a new message. I'm going to send one to my work email address. So let's say you wanted to contact me. You would put in the address. You'll put in the email address. So I'm just using mine, for example, .org. And then your subject, whatever you wanted it to be. I'll say test email, but you put your subject, and then you would type your message. For the purpose of this video, we'll just say testing my new account. And then we can attach files, which again, we'll get into that in a future quick tips video, but this is where you would attach files if you wanted to send pictures or documents. But for the purpose of this video, once again, I'm going to click send. And you see this icon says message sent. And then I click on sent and I see my email address, or I see my message that I sent if I needed to access it again. Another quick trick before we close this video is when you are sending a resume, when you create a resume or anything like that, or anything you want to have to back yourself up, you can actually send it to yourself. So if there was some important information or a resume and you wanted to send it to yourself, that's valuable as far as storage. So you would just put in your own email address if you wanted to send pictures to yourself or whatever the case may be. If you wanted to have that access, you could do that. As you can see, if you ever forget your email address, you can just hover over this little J and you see that your address is Mr. John Q. Smith 60 at gmail.com. So you would enter that in at gmail.com, test email, and you can just say test, hit send. And immediately, as you can see from me, you sent it from yourself. Now you have your new email address or your new Gmail account, I should say. So this is going to conclude the video. I will say that now that you have your email address, you'll be able to correspond with employers. So when you set up a job profile, when you apply, you'll be able to correspond with them. You'll be able to communicate and what have you. I would also encourage everyone to check in with us because there will be quick tips posted every week. As you can see, even with Gmail, there's so much to explore, beyond what I could capture in one video. But I also just want to encourage everyone to check our website. We are still offering virtual services in spite of the pandemic. We want to continue to be of service to the community and provide resources. So once again, my name is William Hollis. I'm an associate librarian at Mandel Public Library. Thank you so much for watching this video and keep an eye out for future offerings.